Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar. Well, it's time to get the next corporate, which is on our radar. Packaging solutions provider, Mold-Tek Packaging. The company's stock is down over 10% from the highs. But if we look at what the company did in terms of performance this time around, margins saw a decline, while revenue and net profit grew on a year-on-year basis. Laxman J Rao, the CMD of the company, is joining us now to discuss the company's outlook and the demand trends as well. Mr. Rao, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, top-line growth has been 14.5% in the quarter gone by. For the first half, it's 33%. For the quarter, can you split it up for us? What was the volume growth for you? Which particular sector did it come for you? And what is going to be the growth driver in terms of sectors going forward?
Yeah, good afternoon. We have grown at 10.8% volume growth even in the Q2. And overall for the H1, it is a volume growth of 27% over the last H1. And in the segment-wise, our lubricant business has grown by around 27% over the last quarter. Our paints are up by 4%, and food and FMCG is up by more than 40%. So as anticipated, our food and FMCG continue to be our growth driver. And in lubricants, it's mainly the conversion to IML and DEF segment opportunities are what is driving the growth in lubricants. So overall, the growth is still at around 13 to 14% in the revenue side, but on the volume front, it is around 11%. But overall, H1, it is around 27%, which gives us a confidence to maintain our estimate of 20% overall volume growth for the entire year.
Okay, so volume guidance for FY23 is 20%. Afternoon, sir. Can you talk about the paint business? You said the paint business growth was subdued at 4%. What led to it? And in the release, you're also saying the paint business will pick up in the second half. What is driving that optimism?
See, the numbers before Diwali tend to be higher, but prolonged monsoon, in my guess, is the reason for the subdued paint demand. But all the paint majors are very confident of that to be recovered in the second half. And we too also think so, because we have created capacities at Mysore and Vizag to cater to Asian Paints' expected increased business. So we are all set and we are waiting for their takeoff. And as you all know that we are also setting up a plant for ABG at Panipat, which will go into production towards the end of 23 calendar year. So that way, paint will continue to grow in our sales in the future too.
So what would be the volume growth in the paints business for the full year? Consolidated is 20%, but can you break it up in terms of lubricants and paints?
For the 6 months period, the paints grow at around 20.75% in the H1. But for this quarter, it is just 4%. So as I told you, monsoon has hit the paint sales probably. That is why, though the overall growth for 6 months is 20.7%, for this particular quarter, it is just 4.1%.
Okay. Mr. Rao, I wanted to speak to you about your label manufacturing capacity as well. It will increase by 2 times by end of Jan 2023. What kind of cost savings will it bring you? And if there are cost savings, what will your EBITDA per kg look like by the end of this year and say in FY24? Right now, it's at 41 rupees per kg.
Yeah. There were 2 things that impacted our label production. One is lack of maintenance spares, because most of our machines are all digital and electronically advanced machines. They need semiconductor-based electronic spares, which are getting delayed in supply from Italy or even from Europe, which is resulted in longer breakdowns than anticipated. And 2 more machines which we ordered, supposed to be delivered in August, are delayed. They are coming in the month of end of November and December, both of them. And that will almost double our printing capacity, label printing capacity, which will be more than adequate to capture the increased demand we expect from January onwards. Because typically all these ice creams, dairy products, food products and FMCG products shoot up in numbers starting from January, February of every year. So we anticipate and keep ready the printing volumes by adding these 2 machines. And the third machine also, we are almost at the final stage of finalization. It is a readily available machine, which is a digital technology never brought in India. And if that machine is added by Jan-Feb, we'll have more than adequate capacities, and the savings will be considerable. For example, in this quarter, the amount spent on label outsourcing, purchasing amount is close to 4 crores. as against 1.9 crores last year. So that means almost 2 crores of additional purchase happened, which can be saved once our capacities are there. That means almost 7 to 8 crores of purchase can be avoided in case we have the in-house capacities, and with a kind of EBITDA of 40 to 50% on it. So it's a considerable saving. It can add at least 1 to 1.5 rupee to the EBITDA.
Okay. Sir, your hand sanitizer pump business has not taken off. We understand that one of the contracts from a large company got delayed, Wipro, I think, and generally the demand for the product has also moderated with COVID-related worries easing. What's the outlook, and given that you've made investments in this, is it going to hurt the company?
Not at all, because the total revenues, investments made are about 12 to 13 crores, whereas the 10 crores of machinery, land building are all fungible. Already we are using them for our thin wall food packaging, which is growing at 40 to 50% annually over the last few years. So those machines are all put to use. Only the molds and assembly machine pertaining to the pump business worth less than 3 crores or around 3 crores are impacted partially because we are using them hardly 15 to 20% of their capacity. And going forward with the Wipro, once it starts, probably their plans are changing and delaying. So as you said, because of the COVID reduction and use of sanitation has come down, they are also thinking of going slow. That's why the pump business is impacted, but it has no impact on our investment or wastage of investment because 75% of it is on the plant and machinery, which are fungible, completely fungible with our fast-growing food and FMCG business.
So, Mr. Rao, last question before we let you go. What about your pharma packaging segment? That was going to be the big driver for you as well. When does that start kicking in, and what kind of investments have you made so far? How big is this opportunity for you?
See, time and again, I'm telling that pharma is a very big opportunity. As it is more than 3,000 to 4,000 crores of export opportunity through pharma companies in India. And very few players are there, not even a single listed player is there in this field. And Mold-Tek, with its vast experience in molding and packaging and hygiene management and robotics, is going in a big way. We are investing in the first phase itself around amounts close to 45 to 50 crores by this April, May 23. But it may take few more months for approvals and audits by the pharma companies. Probably by second half of next year, we'll start making commercial supplies. Meanwhile, the IBM capacities will be filled with some of the OTC orders we received for OTC products and also for dairy and other food segments. So that way we'll be partially utilizing the capacities initially. But by the time 23-24, end of 23-24, we'll be strongly set in a pharma packaging containers and caps, which is having a much higher EBITDA and which has a large market opportunity, including cosmetics and food and FMCG. The IBM opportunity is more than 7,000-8,000 crores per annum. So even if we take a small bit of it in the next few years, it can be a considerable growth driver for us.
Okay, all right, Mr. Rao, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us, taking us through your business outlook, the nitty-gritties this quarter, and the capex plans as well. Well, that's the word coming in from Mold-Tek Packaging. For now, we'll slip into a short break. We'll get to you earnings fine print for a host of mid-cap stocks that are reacting. Stay tuned.